CV is a piece of paper that acts as ticket for you to get job interviews at companies or even landing internships. Yet I find many people are doing mistakes in writing their own CVs, either when I was reviewing for my friends, coaching, reading CVs for interviews. In this video would cover most of these mistakes so you'll be able to avoid them and you will be able to land your dream job. So let's get starting. First mistake is having more than one page CV. During my time in university, I was writing a multi-page CV. It was a 3-page CV, and I thought, okay, I have many experiences, I'm writing a lot of stuff, and in this point I would be able to land internships or get a job directly after I graduate. And I found no, this wasn't the case. I wasn't able to land any internship during college. But now, after I have been programming since 2014, I have a single page CV, and I found that the trick is just removing all the unnecessary, unrelated stuff, because I was actually an electronics and electrical communication engineer, like doing electronics stuff, and I removed all this part from my CV and only have the relevant information about software, web development to be focused. This would make your CV be clear to be understand and to communicate the message that you want to send to any recruiter who is reading your CV. I like to think of it like making your CV like a katana sword, to be simple, focused and sharp. This is what you need to communicate from one page CV. To be simple, that people could be able to read it directly, and to be focused, that it's only like either front end only, back end only, DevOps, either options, and also to be like very sharp. You have many experiences, you have done a lot of projects, all of them are related to the same thing. And of course, don't use small fonts, because if you are using small font, no one would be able to read it and no one would be able to understand it, and in this case you wouldn't be able to communicate your experience. So no, don't do that. Next is not having a neat CV, like you are doing bad formatting, having incorrect grammaring, or having weird coloring or weird fonts. These things are like, they are communicating some things about your own personality. You need to make your CV like neat, like you are wearing a suit in the CV or in this paper, like it's formatted, directing everything is placed in its own like its own section. You are basically communicating information to the recruiter, so you need to be able to have each section or each structure in the correct way and to communicate it correctly, like collecting your information about university in a certain place, your projects in a certain place, your courses in a certain place, internships in a certain place, having everything in place, basically like having it in a neat shape. And to avoid using weird formats, like doing your CV in Word, for example, it would result in a weird format sometime. I would recommend using a LaTex CV. It's something similar to HTML and it would be in a very neat format. I am actually using one for myself and I will put a link for it in the description of this video. Next is applying the dry concept that you knew from programming. You need to also apply it in your writing your CV. Basically, don't repeat yourself, like don't repeat the same information in every section in the CV. If you use certain technology in company A or in project A and another one in B, don't repeat both of them, just collect all of them in a single place. Also, if you done different contributions in either of them, you have to also make it different, because you must probably done different things in both companies. Next up, and this is very important and critical in writing your CV, you need to describe what value or contribution you have done for the company or the project, not just your own duties. Like if you're a front-end engineer, you don't write, I built the HTML and wrote the CSS, I implemented API. No, you have to show what value you have brought to the company or the project. This is very crucial, because if you write your own duties, yeah, I already knew what you are doing. You are a front engineer and I knew what duties. You are not communicating certain information or what you have contributed or what value you could actually contribute to the companies that you're applying to. This is very important. So you need to change from showing your duties to showing your values. This is very important. Fifth point is personal branding, and this one would kill the energy that you want to transfer from your CV to the recruiter. You need to show that you are a professional developer who knew what they are doing and they are capable of doing the job or the task that is going to be handled to them. This is what you are trying to show. Basically, you need to kill the imposter syndrome in you. Like, don't be shy. You need to show in your CV and write it in a professional way or a brandy way or a markety way, like what you are capable of doing. And I always like to refer to this Quora question, which is saying, how would you write I changed a light bulb on your resume? And one of the very funny answer, it was single-handedly managed the successful upgrade and deployment of a new environmental illumination system with zero cost overruns and zero safety incidents. Although this is over exaggerating, but you get the idea. You know what you need to do. 6th point, don't lie. If you don't know something, don't write it. Like, fake it until you make it. Don't do that, because if the interviewer finds that you are lying, you will not just be humiliated on spot, you would also be added on a block list, and you probably wouldn't be able to apply to this company. And if this interviewer moved to another company, you would also still would be blocked again. So don't do that. Always be like honest and say what you actually know, and it's not a problem. And don't worry, if you don't know something, it wouldn't be harmful. Like, if the company during the interview found that you have passion, you have enthusiasm, basically have the right attitude, you would be hired. So don't worry about it and don't lie. And point number 6, experience. You need to have experience. If you don't know what you are doing or you haven't applied what you have learned, then all of this doesn't matter. You have to build something, you have to apply it, like either do a side project, you have to do a freelancing, build a project with a team, put it on a GitHub, show it publicly. You have to apply the thing that you have learned. Basically, if you don't have experience, you would have like few words and topic with empty value or empty things that you would like to show. So experience, you have to build it. Lastly, few points that would apply to any CV writing, like don't use weird fonts. I would always recommend using something from the family of sans serif, like Roboto or Arial, because it's more comfortable to the eye and it's nice to read it. Don't use graphs, colors, images, like make it black white, and yeah, make it simple and clear like we said previously. Use the past tense and also in the passive form. So for example, don't say I build the API. You should say like build the API using something, like something similar to this. Don't use the present form, always use the past tense because it's something you have done. And also don't add I, always use the passive form. Don't add any personal information like your driving license, date of birth, marital status. No one cares like if you are single or married if you add it in the CV. Avoid time gaps in your CV, like if you are transitioning between two jobs, or you were at universities and went to jobs and went to university again and then went to a job. Don't show any time gaps because it would always attract like questions why there is time gap in this place. Don't put any social media accounts that you are not using professionally, like don't put your Facebook or your Twitter if you are just posting random things. Always put professional stuff because people would check these links, and if they find something that is strange for them, it might make them of correct contact information like your email, phone number. If you are putting them on the CV, check that they are correct, because they would eventually contact you. If they try to contact you and this is wrong information, yeah, you wouldn't be reached. And yeah, people are doing this. Always send the CV in PDF format, no word, no images. Don't do this. Use correct name for the PDF, like if your name is John Smith, the CV should be johnsmith.pdf. Don't send like mycv.pdf. Don't make it like my awesome cv.pdf or my cv file one. Don't do that. And of course, do proofreading for your CV. Mistakes, grammar mistakes, misspellings, all of this would show like you didn't care, like you write the CV and just send it and you are hoping for the best. Don't do that. I hope this video would help you to get an interview at your dream company. If you have any questions, leave them in the comments and I will answer them, and see you in next video. Ciao.